Hello and welcome back to the More to Life podcast. This is episode 9, and this is the first episode that you're getting in real time because up until now, obviously, the first 8 episodes were all pre recorded, and I recorded them all at this point like over a month ago. So I haven't actually sat down to film a podcast episode for like over a month. But now we're getting into our little routine, we're getting into our vibe together. It's going to be amazing. We're so cute. Oh my god, so when I prepped this episode, because yes, I do prep the episodes because I am a Virgo sun with a Capricorn moon, you bet your fucking ass. I'm preparing and planning every single little thing because it's just what we do. But when I was planning this episode, it flowed out of me like the best case of the runs you've ever had. It was all inspired by this dream I had. I had this dream and I just started contemplating it, and it gave me some really intense downloads and takeaways, and I was like, I have to talk about this on the podcast. Like, this shit is profound. It's something that you need to start utilizing now. Before we get into it though, I do want to give you guys a little bit of an update because like I said, haven't actually recorded one of these for quite a while. So a lot has happened since I did last record one. I did mention this on my Instagram stories, I believe it was a week or two ago. And although I mentioned the More to Life Patreon in pretty much every single episode up to this point, there have been some major changes. I have actually figured out a way better way to run that whole side of More to Life. So I just decided, you know what? I mean, I don't plan on changing things that drastically this often, but it's just because it was so early on, I just felt like it was probably the better time to do it now than if like a ton of people had signed up and then like there's just this big upheaval and it's a whole thing. So I was like, right, I've figured out a better way to do this now. And I mean, I'm such a personal development junkie that I was like, I'm not sitting on this. So it will take a little bit more time to actually launch that. Like it'll probably be a few months, I'm not sure, but know that when it does come out, shit's gonna be fucking epic. Like it's gonna be 10 times better than what the Patreon was gonna be. But I also just want to say, just because you can't access the More to Life Patreon anymore doesn't mean that you can't access the Dream Life Creation Planner and Guided Journal. They are both still there. I've actually decreased the prices, so they are beautifully priced. And they will help you go from where you are now to where you want to be in 1 month, 1 year, all the way up to 10 years. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, if I must say so myself. Also, for a little mini life update, I've been doing this challenge called 77 Aligned, inspired by Hayley Hoffman Smith. Love that queen. And I've been sharing my journey on Instagram. So if you're not following me over there, you might not know what I'm talking about. But quick little overview, it's like the 75 hard challenge, which is like you take on a bunch of health related habits and you go at them every single, there's like 6, 7, 8 habits, I don't know, and you do them every single day for 75 days. Whereas 77 aligned, I mean, first of all, it sounds a lot more aligned than 75 hard. Like, hard, don't make me do something that just sounds like I'm going to hate every second of it. 77 aligned is basically like you choose your own habits to do for 77 days. And oh my goodness. Okay. So my habits have changed slightly since I started, and I've updated that on my Instagram, but these are the habits I'm doing as of right now anyway. So I'm reading 10 pages of a personal development or spiritual book every day, 10 minutes of meditation. I go for a walk for at least 15 minutes. I do a workout or stretch session for at least 40 minutes because with my personal training background, I don't like the idea of actually doing a workout every single day. Your body still needs to recover. So that's why I added in the stretch session part. Also, an Instagram post every single day, study for at least 15 minutes every single day, and journaling and or EFT tapping every single day. And all of those habits are very much aligned with the person that I want to become, the woman I want to be. Oh my goodness, I'm actually really tired today. I'm back working in the gym tomorrow because gyms are back open in Ireland now, and that means I'm opening the gym, which means I'm up really early. So I was like trying to start getting myself on my really early schedule today. And like, I just really want to take a nap so bad, but I'm like, no, don't do it because it's just going to make tomorrow so much harder because I won't get to bed early enough and blah, blah, blah. So I'm hoping that staying ridiculously hydrated will help will help me stay awake. Anyway, it's totally not related to what I'm saying, but I've been doing all these habits every single day for 17 days now as I'm filming this, and it's going really well. Like I said, it's very aligned with who I want to be, and I do feel so much better in myself. Like I just feel like I've really been taking care of myself, which is the whole fucking point. Oh no. Oh god, I'm absolutely sweating. I'm gonna have to do this in my underwear. I am now only dressed on the top half because it's just really hot in my room. We're finally getting summer weather, which is fantastic, but my bedroom is at the back of the house, which means all the heat just ruminates in here. It gets a little sweaty. So I'm like half dressed right now, but let's just go with it. Now, is it a struggle to get all these habits in every single day? Absolutely, yes, it is. But I am committed to the woman that I want to be. She is inside me, and all of these habits are bringing her out. They're tugging her little, I nearly said paw. They're tugging her little hand. They're saying, come out to play, higher self, Kate. You are in there and you're coming out. So, yeah, I would highly recommend. Okay, win of the week. The win of the week this week is a successful manifestation story. So, I had put together a vision board just for the month of June, and I actually did it like a few weeks before June even started. So, I was like way early to the game, but I had only come across this idea of a monthly vision board, and I was like, that suits me really well because I need something to be kind of fresh. I need, like, if I have the same vision board for a whole year, like, it just becomes like this gray space. Like I don't really take it in as what the actual things mean. So I put together this vision board and I put 5 or 6 things on it. And for each item that was on there, for each picture that was on there, I wrote down like a full ass journal entry of why it was going to be so exciting and like basically a journal entry of what I would say when I achieved that. So one of the pictures on there was a screenshot of someone's YouTube analytics. Doesn't matter whose, they're mine in my mind. But it basically said 2,000 subscribers. Because if you didn't know, I have a true crime YouTube channel as well as this. And I meant for this goal to be for that channel. And I will preface this, I didn't hit the 2,000, like I didn't hit the full goal, but something happened that is absolutely a result of manifestation. I had a massive surge in that number on literally overnight. So I'm going to share that with you. I hadn't experienced that amount of views and that amount of new subscribers all at once ever before, unless I put a paid ad on my YouTube video, like sponsored the YouTube video so that more people would see it. So this just happened organically. So what I did was I put that picture on the vision board that night. I wrote a journal entry as if it had already happened. I basically journaled out any thoughts that I had as if that genuinely did happen. The third thing I did, focused on feeling good, focused on things that felt good in my day, in my life in general. And lastly, when I went to bed that night, I played this little mini visualization in my mind of what I would actually do when I hit that thing. Would like the chances are I'd probably hop over on my Instagram stories and be like, "Oh my god, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. This is amazing. Like that just exploded out of nowhere. I'm so grateful." And I just played this over and over and over in my mind as I was falling asleep, which I also have to say is very topical for today's episode. So that's actually, I didn't even plan that, but the universe works in wonderful ways. You'll see exactly what I mean. Anyway, the next morning I wake up and I have this intuitive hit to check my YouTube analytics, like first thing as soon as I woke up. And I will preface the fact that over the last while, the last few months, every day I might get an extra 0, 1, 2, maybe 3 subscribers in like a full 24-hour period. And it's been growing consistently, but pretty slowly up to this point. And on this particular morning, I woke up with like 20 extra subscribers and I was like, what the fuck? I was absolutely floored. I was like, where the hell did these people come from? Like, did someone shout me out? Like, did a true crime YouTuber shout me out that has a much bigger audience than me? Like, where did these people come from? So I was like frantically checking all my social media. And then I went back to the YouTube app and I was like, maybe it was one of the videos that I recently put up. And it was. So one of the videos I put up, which was a case updates video, got like 500 views overnight. And normally in the amount of time from when I posted it to when it was on that morning, does that make sense? Like, it had been like a day or two since I posted this video. And normally in that amount of time, I'd get like 100, 150 views kind of. It just jumped up by 500 or more even overnight. I went to sleep and it was the regular amount of views, and then I woke up and it jumped up, and I just could not believe it, because it was literally the night before that I did all this stuff with the vision board and the journaling and the visualization as I fell asleep, and I focused on feeling good, and all it just poof like that. And like all of a sudden I had this huge surge on my YouTube channel, which I hadn't gotten up until this point ever. So that was such a massive win for me, because even though it wasn't like 2,000 subscribers already, but to be fair, it was still May. It wasn't even June yet, and this was the June goal to hit 2,000 subscribers. Or it still is the June goal. But even though I hadn't done that, it was like I'd never experienced that before. And you can actually go onto my YouTube channel. My true crime channel is just Kate Philpott, KatePhilpott. And I think actually I have TubeBuddy, which is like an extension that you can put and you can see other people's analytics. I'm such a nerd for that shit, and I'm so nosy to look at like other people's analytics and like where I'm at and all this stuff. So I'll have that link down below if you want to install that, and you can literally see the massive surge on this one day. That, and literally the night before that happened was when I did all this manifestation stuff. I can't explain it, but this shit works. Speaking of, I don't know what's going on right now, but I am getting a ton of followers on More to Life Instagram. My phone keeps buzzing like crazy, and I don't know why. See, this is why we focus on the good. This is why we focus on the positive. This is literally happening as we speak of this. Like, I'm telling you this story in which I'm feeling abundant. I'm feeling like my platforms are growing and my phone is blowing up because my Instagram is getting a bunch of followers. Like, what? Where are these people coming from? I don't even have words. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, that just goes to show you the power of your mind. And that leads me very nicely into the topic for today's episode. So, I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I actually have my background is in psychology. I know I was a personal trainer, but I have a degree in psychology, an undergrad degree. And the whole time I was doing my psychology course, I was thinking like, what area would I actually like to go into in psychology? Because I'm fascinated by so many of them, but one that just kept coming up for me was sleep psychology. And of course, I mean, that never ended up happening because because I'm way too multi-passionate and I have way too many interests, and I ended up delving into the whole fitness world instead. But sleep psychology is something that has always just fascinated the shit out of me. God, my voice is very like, today. I apologize. I probably have to drink some water. So here's a reminder, drink your fucking water. So I had a dream the other night. This is so weird. This is going to be the weirdest podcast episode ever, but I promise you it is for such a good reason. The point of this episode is absolutely insanely profound. I had a dream where I was in the kitchen in my family home and I was with my whole family, my parents and my brother, and there's this window that looks out to the back garden. And the window was like 90% a window, but at the bottom of it, there was this mesh kind of part. It was like this mesh netting, and it was kind of open at the bottom. Like, there was nothing blocking off the outside to the inside of the house. Next thing you know, weird shit starts happening. You've got like UFOs in the sky. The stars are all like blue and purple and like real galaxy cosmo-y, and you could hear animals and birds and everything in the distance. Obviously, we had nothing blocking off the outside to the inside of the house. So a lot of animal noises, and then all of a sudden there were bats everywhere and they were flying directly up to the window. I remember this one particular bat staring me dead in the face. and they were like trying to get in, but luckily they couldn't fit. But they kept like repeatedly bashing into the window because they were trying to get to us. It was low-key terrifying. By the way, there still is a reason I'm telling you this, so just bear with me. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but there is a very profound reason that I'm actually telling you all of this. Just lean into the weirdness of everything I'm saying here. All of this was unfolding in my brain, okay? Keep that in mind. And something I can't quite remember is why we had to leave the house, but there was some kind of threat, so we had to leave the house, and obviously the doors didn't work, so we had to climb out through this mesh netting thing under the window. I mean, we humans climbed out through the thing that these tiny little bats couldn't even get in through, but dreams doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And when we got outside, we needed to go down the side entrance of the home, and it wasn't just us, by the way. It was me and my family down our side entrance, and then like the whole neighborhood had to leave their houses and go down the side entrance. And then we were there because aliens were coming. They wanted to come down to us, but they needed everybody to cooperate. But my next door neighbors were just having none of it. Like, they didn't want to leave their house and go down their side entrance. Therefore, the aliens were like, nah, we're not coming. So after a bit of time, they got in their cars and left. And everybody cheered and applauded because they were leaving. No disrespect to my actual neighbors, but I'm glad they left because the next part was really cool. So these aliens finally showed up, and there was like a family of aliens for each family, and they looked exactly like us. Kind of like if you've ever seen that horror movie, Us. Oh, it's so creepy. It's the only horror movie I actually could not finish watching. Like, I've watched some scary ass movies in my day, but that one I just really freaked me out. I was like, no, I need to go watch like a cartoon because this is like really bothering me. Anyway, I can't remember any more details of the rest of the dream or like why these aliens came, but they're just like, I remember them being sound. Anyway, so the whole reason I'm bringing this up on the podcast at all is because of this. I know exactly why this dream happened. About a week ago, in that same area in the kitchen where that window is, my brother, he came across a really big, scary looking spider, and he took a video of it and sent it to me. I was in bed at this point. It was really creepy. I was like, we shouldn't have spiders that big and thick in Ireland. Like, they do not belong here. Why is that here? Anyway, he went to the bathroom or something, and when he came back, the spider was gone, never to be seen again. Well, fingers crossed, but the thing was gone, so it was somewhere. But anyway, since that happened, every time I walk past that window, I'm checking out like the wall. I'm checking out, is it behind this thing? Is it underneath that thing? I'm hyper aware that there could be this big scary spider here somewhere. That is what forced this dream to come about, because I'm so hyper focused on this one area in the kitchen where this window is. And the whole reason why this is so fascinating is because this was a ridiculous dream. It made no sense. It was extravagant, bizarre. If I went to go and write a story and tried to write something like that, that never would have come out of me, ever. And guess what? Dreams are basically your subconscious mind communicating with your conscious mind. So what my conscious mind came up with in this scenario was the spider and this one area in the kitchen. That's it. So point is, my conscious mind came up with the spider and that area in the kitchen. My subconscious mind came up with all of the other details and filled in all of those details, from the aliens to the weird blue and purple stars to the animal noises, the bats trying to fly in through that particular window, my neighbors not not wanting to participate in the alien drama, and like the whole neighborhood cheering as they left, and like all of that stuff. My conscious mind would never have come up with anything like that. So while this stuff is very fascinating to me, I am sure you're probably like, okay, Kate, but like, what what do you want me to do with this information? Trust me, there's more here. Think about this. When it comes to manifestation, such a huge part of what people struggle with is figuring out how this thing is going to happen. You're thinking of a certain desire. Maybe the desire is to grow to 5,000 followers on TikTok, or to hit your first 10K month, or to finally build up the physical strength to do a pull up in the gym. Whatever that next level goal is for you, right? So you have that desire, and we always get caught up with the how. It's like, well, okay, but how am I going to make that happen? How? What is the part that gets me from here to there? How could I possibly be at that level when I'm only at this level now? But what this whole thing with the dream teaches us is you've only got access to the tiniest amount of information in comparison to what your subconscious mind has access to. Right, so taking the examples, say you consciously come up with 10 ways that you could potentially hit your first 10K month. Your subconscious could come up with 10 million ways. It's going to have so many more options for you that you could never even consciously think of or think are possible. I'm hoping that this will instill some faith in you, because there are so many more ways for your desires to come to you that you're not even consciously aware of. But if you are very practical minded, this might be a very frustrating concept. This particular concept could make you feel very angry, or make you feel a lot of resistance, or genuinely upset, because you're like, well, that I can't do anything about that. That's out of my control. But don't worry, because there are actionable steps that you can take to make the most out of this information. So in the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, really fascinating book, by the way, if you want to learn more about the subconscious mind. But there's this paragraph where a writer is using his subconscious mind to help him write a book, basically. Whenever his financial situation would get to a point where it's less than ideal, he would say to his subconscious mind, give me a good thrilling novel that would be marketable and profitable. And in doing so, his subconscious mind would provide him with this amazing novel idea that would be marketable and profitable. So what we were saying about dreams is dreams are how your subconscious mind communicates with your conscious mind. But this method is how you use your conscious mind to communicate with your subconscious mind, so the other way around. So through dreams, your subconscious mind could throw any random shit at you. Aliens, bats staring into the depths of your soul, any random shit that doesn't mean anything to you. And you're like, where did that even come from? But when you use it to your advantage and you make some kind of command to your subconscious mind, that's when it will throw the actual thing that you're looking for at you, the solution to your problem, the answer to your question, the novel idea, whatever it is, the 10K month income producing idea, whatever. So when you make a command to your subconscious mind as you fall asleep, that's when you can actually take control of what your subconscious mind provides to you. And what's even better is that while you sleep, you are being spiritually recharged. It's like your charging station. So when you're making those commands to your subconscious mind, there's even more power going to them. So I'm also going to guess that you might be thinking, how in the fucking world do I make a command to my subconscious mind? What does that even mean? Well, listen up, honey. I got you. There are many ways to do this, probably more than we're consciously aware of, ironically, but I'll give you a few ideas anyway. So as you're falling asleep, you're going to speak this command either out loud or in your mind over and over and over again. Ideally with feeling, like you want to feel the words that you're saying as well. It just gives them so much more power. You could also write the command down or record it and then play it over and over and over. Or you could even do, say, a meditation and then keep that command in your mind the whole time and just meditate on that command. Then when you wake up the next day, you want to grab a journal first thing and write down anything that you can remember of potential dreams that you might have had. And this is kind of a skill that develops over time, and if you've never done it before, you might struggle to remember any dreams, and that's okay. That is okay. You can get better at it over time. As your communication between your subconscious and your conscious mind gets stronger, you will get so much better at this, and you'll be able to you'll just have it at the drop of a hat. And those are a few practical ways that you can implement this, but another really, really important thing about it is your mindset towards your subconscious mind. What you must do is to find a way to be okay with not knowing how everything is going to fall into place, but trusting that it 100% will. Trust that your desire is coming, because it is. Also, probably my most annoying tip for you is patience. You've got to be patient. I'm sorry because it's like there's nothing you can really do about patience other than just fucking wait, but it is so crucial as well. So, here are some journal prompts to help you with that because we love a good journal prompt here. That shit gets into your little mind, your big mind. First of all, you're going to write a list of loads of times where things just fell into place amazingly, perfectly, or maybe not perfectly, but just in the most fantastic way without you knowing how it was going to happen prior. So, by journaling on this and thinking about all the times where that's happened, you're going to trust that things do fall into place for you without you knowing the how. That will help you get on that frequency. Another journal prompt you're going to write is I am happy to not know the how of how things are going to fall into place because and come up with as many reasons as you can. The next journal prompt is you're going to write down how can patience help me in receiving my desire or achieving my goal or whatever wording of that you prefer, whichever feels better to you. That way, you're going to really tap into the fact that being patient genuinely helps you and you're going to see actual reasons why it does. The next one is going to be all about your beliefs. So, write the following down. Knowing that I must truly believe that my subconscious mind will provide me with the most transformative solution, I choose to believe the following beliefs. Ooh, okay, though, if you journal on those, I promise you, you are going to start tapping into that subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is going to throw all of these amazing things at you so much quicker. And you're going to be so good at communicating with it because, like, you know, all this talk about only having access to this certain tiny percentage of your brain, a lot of that is your subconscious mind. All of this is going to be so fucking powerful for you. And this is like, my voice is like freaking out on me right now, but this is how you become limitless. So just let that set in. Okay. Right, that was a deep ass episode. And I really hope I didn't lose you during the dream, all of that. But I really had to explain that for you to really see just how much your subconscious mind can fill in for you. The main message is when you start using your subconscious mind to your advantage, that is when everything is going to shift and fall into place and just change in your favor, which is it's the whole fucking point. That is when you get more out of your life, which is the whole fucking point of the More to Life podcast, okay? Okay, so the quote for the week for this episode is really, really simple actually, but still really profound. And I just hope it changes your mindset about your desires and your goals. All it is it's already yours. Whatever that main goal is that you're working towards, are you going to go about your day differently if you are thinking it's already yours? Spoiler alert, yes, you absolutely are. You're going to glow different. You're going to show up different. You're just going to feel different. You're going to feel better and you're going to be showing up in the frequency of the fucking desire that you're after, which means it's going to show up for you. So it's it's yours, honey. It's fucking yours. All right, time for our Q&A. So let me just grab this question up. Our question is coming in from Katrina on Instagram. She sent me this after one of the first few podcast episodes went up. I think it might have even been the first one or the second one, or truly I have no idea at this point. I can't remember which one is which now. She asked, what does tapping mean? Because I mentioned this technique, EFT tapping, which is basically emotional freedom technique is what it stands for. And I'm not an expert on it, so I wouldn't teach it as such, but all it is basically it's like emotional acupuncture. There are certain points on our bodies that we tap on that stimulate these what's called meridian points. And they're mostly around the head and neck area. It's like top of the head, in between the eyebrows, temples pretty much, under the eye, in between your nose and the top of your mouth. I don't know, like where your Cupid's bow is that what it's called? And then like the dip in your chin. And then also you've got like, I'm going to stand up for the video people. You've got like here on your chest, just under the collarbone, and then under your arm where your bra strap is. And then what's the other one? Like banging your two wrists together. But the whole point of it is it's really, really beneficial for doing any kind of inner work, whether that means healing emotional traumas or breaking down limiting beliefs or creating new beliefs that you actually want to believe. Like, again, you're tapping into your subconscious and you're sorting out all this shit that's going on under the surface. You're basically rewiring your whole ass mind. So I hope that makes sense if you're new to it. Like, I mean, I'm pretty new to it. So again, I'm not an expert, but I have found it absolutely incredible for doing that inner work and just smashing down these shitty old beliefs that I have. Like, ugh. Who wants them? No, I don't want any of that. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Thank you very much. Anyway, long story short, it is amazing. And if you want to get into it, I would highly, highly recommend Gala Darling. She has a couple of programs, the main one being High Vibe Honey, which is the one that's the main one. I also have one or two friends who are EFT practitioners. So if you would like someone to actually bring you through it, if you've got like darker shit to work through, then reach out to me on Instagram and then I will refer you over to them. Like, that's absolutely fine as well. To conclude this weird ass episode, I won't go into the whole dream again, thank God. But again, the whole point of that was just to show you how much your subconscious mind can fill in the gaps for you. So it doesn't matter if you don't know how you're going to get from A to B. Do these journal prompts, do your vision boards, do like all of those little techniques that you can use. Like, they're going to help you so much. And make sure you're using some kind of technique like this, or affirmation technique, or making a command to your subconscious mind as you're falling asleep. Because there's some, I don't know, I'm probably going to get it wrong. I think it's your going into your theta brain waves or something. Whatever way it is, your subconscious mind is like a sponge. Like, it's going to take on whatever you say as you're falling, or not whatever you say, because we don't speak as we're falling asleep, but you know what I mean. If you're like playing a little mind movie of a visualization, or you're listening to a meditation or affirmations, it's just going to absorb it like a fucking sponge. So point is, next time you catch yourself freaking out and being overwhelmed because of like, oh my god, how am I going to achieve this big scary goal or this big overwhelming goal, take a step back and be like, you know what? It's all fucking good. My subconscious mind has got my back. It's going to provide me with the answer. And just commit to whatever action you feel inspired to. But I'm just so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that I'm filming a podcast episode again, because it really feels like forever since I did one of these, even though it's still only 2 weeks since you've heard one. But I don't know, I'm just like, oh, I'm excited to be back and to get into like a regular routine with this. But thank you so much for listening to episode 9 of the More to Life podcast. Don't forget to send your Q&A questions over to me at More to Life Kate on Instagram. And sweet baby Jesus, go have an amazing 2 weeks until the next episode. All right, speak to you soon. Mwah!